Welcome, everyone, to Silver Tears Tarot. I'm just jumping in today to do a quick reading to talk a little bit about what's going to come up in this spring. So, I didn't know if I wanted to get on and do a reading today, but as I was thinking about it, this just feels like the right time to get in and get kind of the energy of the next couple of months. So this is going to be a soulmate reading. It will be one of the soulmate snapshots, and we're just kind of taking a quick look forward at spring and what's coming with it as it approaches. So as always, it's going to be a general reading. Um, it's not going to resonate with everyone, and that is the way it should be. It's not going to resonate with everyone because it's not supposed to. But if it does, and if you find out that this is your story, please go ahead and check out some of the other videos. You may even want to subscribe because these readings have all been very much connected together. And so you'll notice I say this near the beginning of each one of these videos, and it's because as we have new people come in, they might realize, hey, this was really relevant. Where do I go for more messages? So look back because a lot of these are same timeline. But very timeless readings as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're looking forward to see what's happening in the spring, and that's if you're in the northern hemisphere. It's what's happening in the fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. And we're going to start with the energy around you as you're approaching it. So as the season is approaching, this is kind of the energy that you're coming into. And so this is not specific to the month of March, although you may start to really see it come in the month of March because we have our spring solstice or our spring equinox here in the month of March. It's going to be on the 20th, so we'll be watching for that. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and it's this energy of wanting to try and catch up to something. So it's feeling like you're behind on something, feeling like you want to catch up. Something didn't end up going as efficiently as you had hoped, maybe behind at work, or it's something in your life, homework, whatever's happening in your life right now. But it seems like it's worth it. There's something that you've been working on, and you also have, okay, so you've been working on something emotional where you're seeing some modicum of success there. And then the other piece is with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is about, that things are not necessarily moving as quickly around you as they could be. So, this sense of kind of being behind, I noticed this Queen of Pentacles is in reverse, but also like there's this sense of confidence that comes along with it. So even though you're feeling like you're behind on things, you also know that things will slow down enough for you to catch up. That's what this Wheel of Fortune is telling me, that's in the reverse. And this other card here, by the way, I don't think I said it, is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And so that's how we know you're working on something, but not just working on something. This is that door that we've been seeing you try to open. That you had the key, but you didn't know how to open it, and you're the only one that knows how to, or that can open it. And so, not being sure how to do that has been very frustrating, but it looks like something's getting ready to open up for you. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this sense of a lot hanging over your head from a to-do standpoint. But you don't seem too worried about that. It seems like you never really expect to be caught up in that sense, and that sometimes just being a little bit busy is part of the deal. There is still a little bit of that self-doubt that's hanging around you here in this energy. So that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind and just be watching for. Just be watching for it because you're going to have ideas that are popping up. This is a big idea. This is a significant end to a cycle. So something really fantastic that's kind of coming your direction. There's really great energy around this, but you have to trust it enough to be able to move forward. And so don't let the doubts creep in, especially the ones that you've already surmounted in the past. Okay. And then there's this King of Wands and a Nine of Swords. So, and that's as far as we go. So with the Nine of Swords, this is about anxiety that can be coming to you. That is what it makes me realize here is that you're going to have a great idea and you're going to potentially not be in the right mood when it comes to you. So you might think about shooting it down, or you might think about not giving it sufficient attention in your mind. The recommendation is just set it aside for when you're in a more receptive state of mind. This King of Wands is the I already know how this is going to end sort of King of Wands. That's in the reverse here. And this Nine of Swords here is the one that is it's really about anxiety, but it's about anxiety as far as it's not necessary. This is something that you can probably avoid a lot of the difficult feelings about this by just waiting until you're in a more receptive state. And you are, like I said, you've got a lot going on with you right now, a lot that's kind of changing in you right now, and a lot of emotional growth. Might be that there's enough going on that you just kind of want to. Step back and let it all fall into place a little bit there so that you don't end up losing sleep over it. No need to exert too much control. That's part of the advice that wants to come out with it right now. We've also got the Six of Cups. And so this Six of Cups, so this the Six of Cups in the upright is often a card of nostalgia. It's a card of thinking about the past and thinking about it fondly. In this case, though, in when it's in the reverse, it's not so much not thinking about the past or not wanting to think about the past. It's more kind of not being able to get the right thoughts around the past in your like it doesn't have the effect that you want it to have. When you have these memories, they don't have the effect, the intended effect. I'm trying to figure out a better way to say it, but they don't end up hitting properly, I guess. Um, Okay, so let's take a look, and this is that energy that you are going to be that's going to be around you as you approach it. So there is an air of confidence, a kernel of confidence, and still kind of this trying to decide how to approach something that makes you a little bit uneasy, but is actually a pretty awesome idea. So watch for something to be an idea that you are ready to shoot down, and just wonder to yourself why it is that you want to shoot it down, look deeply into it, and then, strip it down, see if it makes sense. If it really does make sense not to move forward, then this isn't the one. But look for it because this is how it's going to present itself. We keep seeing in these readings that there's going to be an idea that comes out and that it is going to have a dramatic impact potentially. You have to recognize it for what it is. It also may be sitting right in front of you, but you may not be ready to see it, or it may not look the way that you expect for it to look. That's another one of those messages that has wanted to come out with that. So, let's get a look at what it is that this spring is wanting to bring you, what to expect. We saw the what was coming as it was approaching. So, the Page of Wands is like coming out of the gate very slowly. That's one of the things that I feel from this card. So the Page of Wands is sometimes a lack of enthusiasm. And it's a little bit like a lack of enthusiasm, but not exactly because it's not out of place. It's mostly just that there's a ton going on with you in your energy right now, but as things come in, it may be more of this quieter energy of saying, I'm not sure I trust this. I'm not necessarily moving quickly. Definitely with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, we don't have it coming in with energy moving quickly. So this Page of Wands in reverse might just be appropriate. Let's take a look and see what else there is. We've got the Four of Pentacles, so there's a sense of holding on to something, being cozy in a situation and not really wanting for it to change. This is both you and your person to a certain degree, but it's not necessarily emotionally true for you. It's more of a physical thing. Same for your person. They could actually be pretty unhappy in their daily life, in their experience that they're having, and still be wanting to hold on to it and not necessarily make a change at this time because of the discomfort that would be involved. They're not necessarily looking to have they're not necessarily looking to have struggle right now. So that's a Five of Wands. We've got the Four of Pentacles in the upright, and then we've got the Five of Wands in the reverse. The Four of Pentacles in the upright is telling us about them wanting to hold on to that sense of coziness. And the Five of Pentacles in reverse is saying, they really don't want to have, a big struggle about things, don't want to have a big argument or a big issue as it relates to their home life. And so there is still this sense of options being available to both of you, but not being able to find your way around this difficult so this situation that you guys had found yourselves in, there's some sort of thing that's different about you, or something that the two of you couldn't get past. At least your person is unable to get past it, and so the two of you are unable to meet in the middle, unable to find that common ground, and it makes it even more challenging for you to see what your options truly are. So as you're coming into the spring, that's one of the things that that really shows up for you here. Is it's tough to see what your options are. It's a little bit confusing. So there is a confusion in there. It's not necessarily that the options are bad. It's just that it's difficult for you to see the detail, and it is a little bit of the noise in it has to do with this impasse, with this thing that the two of you are not necessarily able um, to make feel right. And so there's a sense of that low energy, a sense of wanting to hold on to things and to keep things quiet. And so going into the springtime, that's what we see is your person starting to focus on that a little bit more. But I'm sensing kind of it's a tension that comes out of this, so it's not just I wanna stay in this situation that maybe isn't great, but it's cozy. There's also, like I said, that tension that's building as those options are starting to come up slowly but surely, and that's what we get from this Knight of Pentacles. Slowly but surely, there is, movement from the situation. It's not gonna be able to stay the way that it is, but it does not come out of the gate quickly with regard to your person changing their behavior. They are gathering a new, okay, I said that, but hold on. So they are gathering a new perspective. They are potentially getting to a place where they're healed enough with this Four of Swords, with this Page of Cups to be able to offer an apology. So this Page of Cups has a lot of apology energy around it. And this Four of Swords has everything to do with the lessons that they're learning, and just them kind of having finally had the opportunity to sit back and rest, and kind of gain this new perspective that we saw over here with the Hanged Man. So that's as many cards as want to be pulled for this one, but that's kind of what you can expect. So it doesn't come out of the gate quickly, but it is moving slowly but surely to a situation where your person has a new perspective and is moving toward being healed enough to give you this apology, or at least allow you to understand that there is an apology there. So that's interesting. They are somehow at least going to want to signal to you. And I know I just immediately realize all the times that this person has potentially already picked up the phone, considered writing a text, and then made the decision not to do so, or made the decision not to contact you just in general. It I realize that this could happen again, but the energy becomes more favorable for that contact, but not just for that contact, for that improved perspective to really, maybe even, it depends on how far they are with their lessons, but maybe even allow it to be a successful conversation. So that's hopeful, and I don't want to bring false hope, but that's the kind of energy that we'd be looking for. So let's see what you can do to get ready for it. This is a cool soulmate snapshot. I'm glad we went ahead and did this one. Okay, so the Two of Wands has already come out here. This Four of Pentacles is an honorable mention. It's really about the same Four of Pentacles energy that we see over here. Make sure that you are doing your best to be able to let go, um, to be able to release your expectations of the situation. And also, this Two of Wands, though, is saying that in this impasse that the two of you have, that we see showing up here with this Two of Wands in reverse, with this, if there's anything that you could be doing that you may have identified, since the two of you have stopped communicating, or stopped communicating very well, that when the two of you have this opportunity again, to get back onto this path toward reconciliation, be sure to everything that you can that allows you to compromise and allows you to meet in a strong place in the middle. bring that with you. So bring your gentle approach. That's something that we've been talking about. Bring your emotional side to it, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, but also be prepared that they may get there and realize that they aren't as ready for this as they thought they were going to be. So that's something, first of all, just realizing that there's a lot of healing going on, and it looks like it's actually making some progress, but it could be a little bit challenging as they're working through it. You may see something fairly awkward. Okay, so the Lover's card talks about the bond the two of you share. And one of the things that wants to come out here is kind of just that you have a special understanding of the bond that you share, and they don't necessarily get to see it the same way. So they're feeling an impact from this bond. But it feels a little bit more like a trap to them and a little bit more like something that they don't know how to get out of and they don't know how they got into in the first place. To be sure, some of you are also feeling this way. However, it may not be the primary way that you would characterize this bond. Whereas for them, it might be this bond teaches me a lot, but it's very, very uncomfortable. And for you, there may also be kind of a warmer sense to it. You are encouraged to continue to. Okay, so these cards want to come out together, the Strength card and the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is about the new truth that both of you showed one another. And so, you guys, kind of in the early part of this year, we saw the impact of that and how it was like this light that's too bright to look at and it was difficult to deal with. Make sure that you're not hiding any of that truth from yourself and that you're cultivating the strength to be able to listen to it. So, if you look into this situation and you say, this person and I, it's a great bond and it's a great mix of people, but it's not necessarily the right time. If that happens to be the truth, and if that's what you feel is the truth, then you are encouraged to have the strength to move forward with that, knowing that the lessons that this person has started in you, has initiated in you, that you're in the process of learning, are a gift that you would not have been able to gather to yourself. Any other way, not certainly not easily. So what is this? Okay, this is Temperance. I love this card. So this is the balance that you bring to yourself, but it is a hard won balance. It's not that kind of balance that you find in the day to day like that. Two of Pentacles balance, and that's nothing to sneeze at. The Two of Pentacles balance is that tightrope that we're looking to stay on, but it's temperance that ultimately, if we fall off, is that net that's down beneath. So we've got the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is really not wanting to be part of the reading, but it is an honorable mention. This is a defense mechanism that you may find coming out. Just be careful that if it starts to come out with you, be aware that you may be hiding something beneath the surface that actually is more that needs to be healed for you. So again, just wanted to be an honorable mention, but not actually be laid down as part of the reading. So let's see what else wants to come out for you here. And this is what you can be doing, remember? So cultivating that temperance, make sure that you're not running away from the truth. Make sure that you're not doing self-sabotaging behaviors. And that one is of paramount importance because it usually sets you back and takes way longer to come back from a self-sabotaging behavior than it took to take the behavior in the first place. Recognize that there are going to be some things that come in that you don't maybe feel ready for and you don't necessarily feel balanced about those. Be prepared for that and be ready to just go ahead and use what comes in. Use what comes in, but do it as a good sport and with this energy that once again does not make assumptions about the outcomes of the situation. So those are the cards that wanted to come out for that. I also wanted to get you an oracle card though, and this is an interesting deck. It doesn't come with a book. It just says here, take it or leave it. This is what we're going to give you, and it always ends up being an interesting message and sometimes a little too true. Anyway, this one is called True Offering. And the little message down below says, True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. That is a wonderful way to put nice bow on this advice here, and almost like bookends with this two of wands here. This is about finding that place to make it a good thing, to make the best of it. Don't hide from the truth. Instead of it being a very difficult situation, it gives it back to love. And really, everyone benefits from this, even if the two of you reconcile without reuniting. And even if that reconciliation comes from what you find within yourself, closure that you find within yourself. So that is today's soulmate snapshot. Gives us a little bit of an idea of kind of what's coming for the spring. Comes at us kind of slowly at the beginning, but it's kind of a deep thing that is ultimately coming our direction. And there is potential for your person to reach out and want to make some apologies, but it looks like it could be a kind of a an awkward thing if that's what happens. So be prepared for them to not be completely ready. That's just something that wants to come out as well. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next reading.